Okay, let's talk about card priority. So following Story Nexus's lead, we have 3 levels of card priority: normal, important, and urgent. So let's demonstrate this with a shopping list. We'll use a set of choices stored in the temporary variable _shopping_list. For our normal choices, we'll skip the when tag section altogether. So choices will automatically add a card tag. And then we'll simply display them as pure covers so they don't get removed from the deck, even though they're not sticky. So in the start passage, we'll write choices _shopping_list. And then we will just say offer eggs, offer bread, offer cheese. Let's have some vegetables in there, I guess. Yes, or offer potatoes, offer spinach. All right. And then we close the choices, /choices. And then we're going to say you by include all qbn, and then we're putting this in backticks, qbn.filter _shopping list. Close those backticks, and then we're going to have another one, and then we're going to say we want to display the cover, not the content, and then we're also going to say we want to separate these with commas. And then we'll put a period at the end of the sentence. Now, I want to demonstrate the difference between what happens when you ask for a limited selection versus when you ask for all available cards. So let's make a story init passage and say set $limit to false. And then at the top of start, we'll add sort of another section here, I guess. So let's say there's a widget list box quote $limit and auto select. So auto select, this is a sugar cube thing. Auto select, so list box makes like a pull down menu. $limit in quotes says this is the variable we're saving in. Auto select says set the initially selected one based on the value of the variable. And then we're going to have two options here. We're going to say option quote show the full list, and this is going to say false. There's going to be no limit, and this is going to be selected by default if there's nothing else. Oh, I guess I don't need that because I have already set it to false. Okay, and then option, let's see, show 3 items from the list, quote, and then we're going to say 3. And then /list box. And then again, we're going to put a link here, update list, which goes back to the start passage. Okay. And let's see, are we ready to do this? Let's see what happens. So if we do this, it's going to build, and we're going to go over here and load it. You buy potatoes, spinach, bread, eggs, and cheese. You buy cheese, potatoes, spinach, bread, and eggs. So they're all 5 going to show up. They're going to show up in a random order. If we select 3 items from the list, that is not working. Oh, of course it's not working. We have to say, all right. So then in the QBN filter call, we're going to say shopping list, comma, $limit. All right. Let's let that build successfully, and we'll go over here again. There we go. Potatoes, spinach, and cheese. Eggs, potatoes, and cheese. Cheese, bread, and eggs. Spinach, eggs, and bread. Okay. So, now let's add some important items. If you tag a card with important, it will be selected before the normal items. So if you show all the list, they'll just be first, but if you select a limited amount, you'll always get the important ones, and then if there's space left over, it'll give you the normal ones. So what are we going to do here? Let's make it so you can add or remove. Let's make it so you can add or remove the importance of important items on the fly to see what happens. So in story init, we will say set $carrots to false. So we're going to start out not being available, and then in start, after the list box, we're going to say label, and notice that this only has one less than and greater than sign because this is an HTML element and not a SugarCube macro. And then inside label, we're going to say this is a SugarCube macro, less than checkbox. And the arguments to that are, let's see, what are we going to do? So we need a variable to set, $carrots. And we're going to say false if it's not checked and true if it is checked. And then SugarCube's checkbox macro does not have the auto select thing. So we're going to use a little bit of JavaScript here to make that work. We will say, so this needs to go in backticks because it's an expression. It's not just a single sort of word or string or whatever. And we say $carrots question. And then if that's true, we're going to say checked colon. And then if it's not true, we're going to say empty string. Okay. So this is called the ternary operator. You write condition, question, true result, colon, false result. A lot of people, programmers will strongly recommend avoiding this, claiming it's hard to read and it's hard to maintain and blah-de-blah. But, I mean, it's really just using question and colon to say if and else. And it's handy for writing tiny little conditional things like this. So, you can make up your own mind whether you like it or not. Okay, and then we need to add, let's see, did I finish that? Checkbox, carrots, false, true, carrots, checked, or nothing. Okay. And then we need to add a choice for that. We'll put it at the top of the list. So we say when, and it's always going to be important, but it's only going to be available rec carrots. And then we're going to say offer carrots. Okay, let's try that. Did that build? That built. Run it. Oh, we forgot to put anything after the checkbox so that we can know what the checkbox is. Okay, so this label thing attaches a label to the checkbox so the screen readers and stuff know that these things are attached. So we're going to say, what are we going to say here? Let's say, don't forget the carrots. All right. Now let's go back and reload. There we go. Now we know what the checkbox is for. So if we update the list, carrots does not show up. If we check it, it shows up at the beginning. You get two other random items. If we say show the full list, we get carrots is still always first, and then everything shows up afterwards. All right, now this is sort of the easy thing. We're turning the whole option on and off we require carrots to be true or non-empty. It's also possible, I've made it possible to change the importance of the thing, but that's a little more complicated. So here we go. In story init, let's add, let's do milk. Set $milk to true. And then near the top of start, let's see, let's copy this checkbox line for the carrots and carrots. We're going to change to milk. Whoops. Milk. We're going to change that to milk, and we're going to change that to milk. All right. And then after we define the choices, so we need to wait until the choice actually, let's put the choice in first. So I'm going to say after carrots, we're going to say when important, and we're not going to give it any other requirements, so it will always be available, offer milk. And then after the choice is defined, we're going to say, we're going to use another ternary operator. We're going to say set _milk. Actually, we could do this. Let's do this up top. So after the milk checkbox, we're going to say set _milk _priority to $milk question. And we're going to set this to important or normal. Okay. And then down after the choices exists, we're going to actually set it. So this says we say card priority. What am I trying to say? Okay, so the names for these choices are a little bit weird. So we kind of have to, what we want to do is say, we're going to put it in backticks. Right, I think we need to put this in backticks, don't we? Yeah, we do. Okay. Shopping list. And we're going to say 1 in square brackets. So JavaScript arrays or sequences or whatever you want to call them start numbering at 0. So carrots is 0. milk is the second one. It's index 1. And then we're going to say dot title. So we'll index it by which order it is in the list, and then we'll ask it what its title is, rather than trying to type that out. And what if some of the internal implementation stuff changes? And then outside the backticks, we need another thing that says what is the priority going to be, and we say milk priority. Okay, and let's see, do we have all that stuff? Yes. Okay, let's try that. So we have the checkbox, we have the thing, and we're setting everything. Let's see what happens. It builds, and there we go. Cool. So now you can maybe sort of see, this is kind of small, these checkboxes are... carrots and milk come first, all the other ones are afterwards. Carrots and milk, carrots and milk. Sometimes they should switch orders, right? There we go, milk and carrots, and then the other ones. And again, if we filter to just 3 items, then we will get carrots and milk, or milk and carrots, and one other. Wow, it's interesting how often carrots is coming first. That's randomness for you. Okay, so then the other feature that we have is we have the other priority that we have. So that's important. It'll show up first. It'll take priority over the others. But then we also have urgent. So urgent cards are things that must be dealt with immediately. They block out all the non-urgent cards that are important and the normal ones. So let's say that you have a baby who is hungry, but you're out of food, so you just get that one item and you leave immediately. So we're going to say when... Oh, and this is... well, let's do this anyway. When urgent, and let's say request random 50. So it'll show up about half the time. Offer, so you buy baby food, and hurry home to feed her. Okay, so the thing is, you notice we've pushed this down the list one, so this is actually we're actually going to have to change the number of the milk one to 2, since it's now the third item. So if you're going to do this and you want to mess with the priority of choices on the fly, you probably want to put them first. And actually, I should probably make a macro that lets you find it by its I don't know, for start of its contents or something. It doesn't really have a title. I'll have to think about that. All right, so if this is urgent, this is available half the time. We don't have to do anything else, but it will just block out everything else. Boom. So let's save that. It built and reload. All right, so now we'll just update the list. You buy baby food. So see, there are no orders. Oh, I put a period in there. I didn't mean to do that. These things are just items. They're not supposed to have a period. So we update the list, and something like half the time-ish, and then it's going to happen 6 times in a row. How about that? But when that shows up, it's just going to ignore the rest of the list. Also notice that urgent cards only exclude non-urgent cards from that particular selection. So if we made another selection of, say, the employees who were working the registers that day, that would be unaffected by this item being urgent. And yeah, I think that's that. Thank you.